Just to be clear, they succeeded in what their goal was for that day. Trump was the one that failed. The goal was to just delay the certification of the vote. They managed to do that. The certification was halted. That was the whole goal, and they did do it. Trump just didn't succeed on his end of the plan, Trump and Giuliani.
Destiny is losing his mind once again, this time after Joe Rogan exposes the woke left and exposes their lies. This is whenever Destiny seems to lose his mind a lot recently because the left wing has been getting exposed so often. Ever since Donald Trump won the 2024 presidential election, people like Destiny have just been, I don't know, pumped full of estrogen or something. I don't know what his problem is, but he's melting down every other day. This time, he's melting down because Joe Rogan is going full MAGA and exposing the lies about J6 and about many other things that the woke left is lying about, including Destiny himself. Let's get into this clip here, where Joe Rogan destroys Destiny and the woke left, and Destiny loses his mind.
Yeah, so he believes this because Tucker Carlson, who now does videos of Russian propaganda in Moscow, was being handed videos from the Republican Speaker of the House to select.
Isn't this just crazy that he could just say that and like he could just lie and nothing happens? That's wild. Like, I know we have free speech and everything, but like, I don't mean something should happen to him in terms of law. I don't even think something should happen to him in terms of the platform that he's on. I don't think anything like that should happen. But your audience should at least be like, hey man, why are you lying to me right now? But none of them, like, they want to exist in the echo chamber, even if that means being lied to over and over. You know, most people would rather be told comforting lies rather than the uncomfortable truth. Just saying, Tucker Carlson, who makes Russian propaganda videos in Moscow. What? Because he did an interview with Putin? That's Russian propaganda? Or because he was like walking around Moscow and saying, hey, this isn't as bad as American history books and school system and mainstream media makes it out to be. It's actually just like a normal place. That's Russian propaganda? That sounds just like journalism to me. I don't know about you.
Added and show that nothing actually happened on J6, just people walking around. And now Tucker Carlson, a supposedly non-political, non-partisan media entity, is repeating these same lies.
They're walking him around. The cops are...
To put it simply, what is your explanation of why the cop peacefully guided them to save his ass? No, because typically when you have a riot, people who are in groups of people are insane. Usually when they're on their own or they're separated off, usually they're not as crazy. They're more chill. I'm pretty sure the cops were walking a ton of people just into the Senate chambers and like locking them in there. I think you can even see video footage of them in the Senate chambers. But it was just like people who were like, I don't know if you'd call them stragglers or whatever, but just like random people that they would just have. And I think
in this video, I
think they had like 30 or 40 people that they just like walked in here.
No, they're showing him around. They're guiding him. How would you ever think that that is going to let you wind up in jail? How would you ever think that if you're an unsophisticated guy who was wearing face paint and you're kind of a kook, and you think you're part of a movement, which is...
Just to be clear, they succeeded in what their goal was for that day. Trump was the one that failed. The goal was to just delay the certification of the vote. They managed to do that. The certification was halted. That was the whole goal, and they did do it. Trump just didn't succeed on his end of the plan, Trump and Giuliani.
Really scary, you know? Yeah. People get a part of a movement, and yeah, we're all doing it. And then you've got literal government agents encouraging you to do it.
Proof? Evidence of that? Anywhere? Anywhere at all? Nope. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, look, I don't know if there's actual hard proof, like, because they would never tell us if there was hard proof, but there's people there who were very obviously there. You know, I don't want to say any names or anything. They're very obviously there, very obviously inciting the group of people to do things that didn't get charged. Whereas there's people who were not really doing anything. There's a lot of people who weren't even present that got charged for being there or, you know, for doing things on that day in that place. And then there's people there who, like I was saying earlier, I don't want to say any names. There's people there who are inciting people, pushing people to do things, you know, throw things and break windows and stuff like that. Very obviously, you know, a leader of the violence of that whole situation that got nothing. Why do you think that is, Destiny? If I had to, I would love to hear his explanation for why those certain people didn't get charged. I would love to hear it.
Absolutely no evidence of this whatsoever. Absolutely no evidence of this at all. We're just lying.
Yeah, we're all doing it. And then you've got literal government agents encouraging you to do it, moving barriers.
Actually, I'm sorry. I'm not being strictly honest when I say that. There was at least one government agent doing it. If you consider the president of the United States an agent of the government, I guess so.
Then you've got literal government agents encouraging you to do it, moving barriers, letting you in. They were playing chess, and these idiots were playing checkers.
Yeah,
and they all
that
got
makes a
locked
lot
up.
of sense. Yeah, like
Because nobody was doing an insurrection.
It
Wasn't an insurrection.
You don't do an insurrection without weapons. It's the whole idea is crazy.
So there was no presumption that there was going to
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
be any kind of like that you were going to get thrown in jail for 1,000 days. And so my
No, they
pal,
thought they were doing a
Jake
protest.
Lang is he's been there forever, and every now and then I get a picture of him. Like he's been in like. Look, I deserve to go to jail. That guy doesn't.
Right.
And most of those guys don't.
Yeah, I think it was a bad decision, certainly to go into the Capitol. It was a bad decision to smash windows, but I want to know who was
People
doing
had been
it.
smashing things like for a
Right.
whole year before.
Oh, the BLM stuff. Oh, well, if people were smashing things for a whole year beforehand, wait a second. But again, this is theater. This is theater. It's all a meme. It's all a meme. Okay. This is like the crazy making tactic where you say that you didn't do a thing, and then when somebody calls you out for doing a thing, you justify why you did the thing as evidence for not doing the thing, right? So remember, it
You
wasn't.
never said, did Joe Rogan or anybody here say that they didn't do a thing? I mean, obviously Joe Rogan didn't do it, but it's like, I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan just said people were breaking windows and stuff. And that was, you know, like I said earlier, incited by, allegedly, I don't know anything, obviously, but government agents, possibly, maybe. But regardless, it's just like strange that, you know, I don't think it's weird that Joe Rogan would bring up the fact that all these people on J6 got charged, whereas nobody in the riots that were burning down cities, looting buildings, breaking windows, things like that, none of them got charged. The only people that got charged were the people who were there to protect the business owners and the businesses, people like Kyle Rittenhouse. And Destiny's gonna act like Joe Rogan's crazy for saying that. Like, I don't know, man. I used to be a Destiny fan. Not a fan, but like I used to watch his stuff because I enjoyed the debates that he would have. I always say it's enjoyable to watch people, regardless of which side that they're on, if I can see how they logic themselves into a position. Because if you logic yourself into a position, that means you can logic your way out. Somebody else can logic, you know, you out of that position. Destiny nowadays has just become unwatchable because none of these things that he's saying are logic. They're not logical. He didn't logic himself into any of these positions. It's all emotion. It's all just mad because he lost the 2024 election. That's it.
An insurrection. It wasn't a riot. Okay. But then he's saying, well, of course they did do this. It's because people had already been rioting for the whole last year, but I thought it wasn't a riot. Wait, was it a riot or was it not a riot? What was it? What actually happened? Was it cops leading people around, or was it more akin to the BLM riots for the last year? Like, what is it?
Bad decision to smash
Like, why is he making that comparison?
windows, but I want to know who was
People
doing
had been
it.
smashing things like for a
Right.
whole year before that.
Right. That's a very good point.
It's
Yeah.
like we were
No, it's not.
a culture of smashing things at that point.
It's also as soon as you find out that there were government agents that may or may not have incited people to go in, the whole thing.
Oh, now it's may or may not have, because earlier you said that you literally said that they were, like, we have people who are telling people to go into the Capitol, right? We have people like Fuentes and everybody on video saying these things. Why do we need to invent hypothetical other people who we have no video evidence of? Like, do you know how much video evidence, how many documentaries of J6 have been made at this point? There was a guy I was talking to a couple weeks ago. What was his name? It was one that just came out. I think within the last month. Oh, it was this one. Like, I feel like there's been like 10 plus of these huge documentaries that have like come out.
This nation.
Like,
So everyone.
In 38 days, but I sure know this. Joe Biden is a globalist, and Joe Biden will be removed one way or another.
Election. The president is willing to stake his reputation on the fact that
Yeah, I don't really want to watch this stuff. We all know. I mean, it's you know, some of it's true. I think people went a bit overboard And I wish it didn't happen because it didn't really do anything positive. And all it did was give people like Destiny and these other woke idiots ammunition. So I wish it didn't happen, but it did happen. And now they're not only using it as ammunition, but twisting the entire story to make people seem like they did certain things that never actually happened and make people seem ridiculous. I don't know, man. Like Joe Rogan didn't say anything wild there, in my opinion. But of course, Destiny he just can't handle it, man. He can't handle that the guy with the biggest platform in the world is going after his side, is going after the woke left. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Joe Rogan versus Destiny situation in the comments.